Welcome to Columbia Conversations. We have with us Dr. Saurav, who is a consultant dermatologist and cosmetologist at Columbia Asia Hospitals, Hebbal. With both training and rich experience in the latest technology in his field, which extends to management of adult and pediatric acne, eczema, rashes, and allergies of the skin, and seborrheic dermatitis. He has an experience of over 10 years in laser and cosmetology. The topic we will discuss is scar and its management. So doctor, hello doctor.
Hi.
What is a scar?
So in layman term, scar is a cut in the skin following an injury. Medical term, it is replacement of the normal skin tissue by a fibrous tissue following injury. So basically it's a removal from the normal skin texture and the skin has accepted the scar as its own. So that is a scar.
What are the different types of scar?
Okay, so simply put, scars can be due to a lot of causes. It can be due to acne, which is the most common cause that comes to dermatologist. It can be post-pregnancy stretch marks, which is also a kind of scars. Now there are bigger scars like post-severe accident, burn injury, acid spill. These big scars are domain of plastic surgery, but the regular scars what we get is acne scar. There is something called as keloids or a hypertrophic scar which is following small injury.
So what are the various methods to treat scars?
Scars can be done in a medical way, non-surgical and surgical. So in medical line of management, there are certain creams which contain heparin, allium cepa, mucopolysaccharides. These are the chemicals which remodulate the collagen which grows and fills the scar. Non-medical, non-surgical line of management is primarily derma roller, microderma abrasion, lasers, microneedling radiofrequency and chemical peel. And for the bigger scars which needs extensive surgical intervention, that is generally done by the cosmetic surgeons or more specifically by plastic surgeons.
So how does microneedling radiofrequency work?
Okay, so microneedling radiofrequency is something which is very recent. Recent, by recent I mean maybe 10-15 years old, as in it is a non-light based device wherein there are multiple needles which can be adjusted. So the skin is divided into various depths. So the scars which are extending up to the epidermis, which is the topmost layer of skin, or the dermis, which is bottommost layer of the skin. So the microneedling radiofrequency has multiple needles at the tip. So that needles can be adjusted to the depth we need to operate on. And when we press the button, the needles will enter the skin. It will go up to the collagen layer. So basically the resting collagen is triggered, it's reignited to grow, proliferate, push the scar up. So that is the remodulation of the scar. The good thing about microneedling is it is a daytime procedure. It is very much preferred by the day-to-day software guys who can't take long absence from work. It's like an OPD procedure. Same day you can join work, mild redness is there, which is easily concealable, and it's very good machine to work with, and it gives a good satisfactory result as well.
Then what about fractional CO2 laser work? How does that help in scar?
Yes, fractional CO2 laser is a light based device as against microneedling, which is a needle based, non-light based device. So fractional CO2 laser, it's a kind of carbon dioxide laser which goes to a particular level, and it is the laser is attracted by the cells which are called as chromophores. That again remodulates collagen, that causes remodulation of the scar. The only thing about fractional CO2 laser is it's not a daytime procedure. It is like there will be effects, post the session there will be pigmentation, it heals like a normal wound, so it takes 4 to 5 days. So this is something called as the downtime. Downtime is post procedure, how much time does it take to come back to normal? So fractional CO2 laser, though the results are very good, I'd say it's better than microneedling, but this is more of a long-term procedure wherein the after effects are there for close to 5 to 7 days. So it's a laser-based device.
Okay, doctor. So chemical peeling is another popular treatment for scars, as you mentioned. How does that work?
Okay, so since almost 25 to 30 years, there has been a lot of chemicals that have been used. So there has been a lot of modifications, against a singular chemical approach. Now we use a what is called as a combination peel, wherein we use different materials. So combination peel has a synergistic action. So what it does is lesser concentration of 2-3 chemicals gives a better result. So what happens is when the chemical is applied on the skin, on the scar areas, the chemical penetrates more into the damaged skin than into the normal skin. The damaged skin is injured, in layman term it is injured, and it starts healing. So chemical peel is also called as controlled chemical burn, wherein the same peel, the same chemical, if we use it like for 100% level concentration, it will end up burning your skin. But we use it at 20-30% where it is at a particular level what we desired the action to be at, and it is a controlled burn in the presence of an experienced doctor. The results are much better, and these days we combine either microneedling with a chemical peel, or we combine a fractional CO2 with a spot peel, wherein instead of applying the chemical over the entire skin, we just use it at a particular scar area. So in this case, I'm majorly talking about acne scars, which is like the most distressing for most people. So we put the particular chemical into the pores. So after the microneedling, when we use the chemical, it basically causes protein degeneration and subsequent regeneration of the protein. So that is how the chemical peel works.
What are the different precautions that one has to take post these procedures?
Okay, so actually there are certain things which are pre-procedure and there are certain things that are post-procedure. Pre-procedure for anything on the face, for example, we don't advise to undergo, for women especially, not to undergo any facial, any waxing, any threading, any use of scrub, which will irritate your skin for at least a week before the procedure. Okay, so because most of these procedures are supposed to irritate, and if you already come with an irritated skin, it will be not that good for you. So pre-procedures to avoid any irritant on the skin, including cosmetic, including parlor procedures. Post-procedure, we generally advise to use a mild steroid cream for 2-3 days. Again, it's really mild, like we use it for kids' skin, and generous use of a sunscreen, avoiding any chemicals post 2-3 days post the procedure, avoiding too much of a sun exposure. Now, it's not like you have to stay in a dark room post the procedure, but you should not be out, like post procedure, don't go to Goa, go after a week. But that is something. Avoid hot water bath for the face. Okay, same applies for when we use the same procedures, microneedling, fractional CO2 for the stretch marks. We avoid wearing, ask the people not to wear any tight fitting cloth around the treated area. Avoid too much of a hot water bath. Use an emollient to soothe the skin so that the inflammation subsides faster.
Okay. Are there side effects known if someone undergo any such procedures?
The commonest side effect what we have seen is with chemical peel, because end of the day it's a chemical, it's an allergen. It is supposed to cause irritation. Now if somebody is allergic to the chemical, we always do a small patch behind the ear or in the elbow area, just to look for any irritation if at all it happens, because it's better to find the irritation on a small patch than after doing it on the face. So allergy is the commonest thing that we need to look for. Second thing is irritation after the chemical treatment, irritation after the fractional CO2, because it's supposed to generate a lot of inflammation. Okay, so in some people with extra sensitive skin, it tends to become more. So therein we have to use some anti-inflammatory methods to get it down. But generally asking, it's the allergy which is the commonest, and excess inflammation following the procedure, which is the second commonest. And subsequently, as I told in the post-procedure methods, like avoiding too much of sun exposure, because irritated skin, if you be out in the sun, it will end up with an acute sun allergy, which is like acute facial burning, acute skin burning. So generally these 2-3 are the commonest things. However, with the advance in the science, it's the allergic potential is to the minimum, the irritation potential is to the minimum, and generally, thankfully for us, the side effect what we have seen is like close to 1 or 2% in my 10 plus years of practice.
Yes. Lastly, the audience wants to know, what are the regular day-to-day skincare measures?
Okay. Always use a pH neutral, pH balanced face wash. In females, we advise to use a good toner, Avoid scrubbing. Scrubbing, against popular belief, it doesn't remove your dirt. It always ends up damaging your skin. And vigorous scrubbing is an absolute no-no. Okay. Good face wash, good moisturizer. Bangalore weather is dry. So, we tend to have dry, cracked skin most of the time. When you try and open your mouth, you feel like there's a lot of tightening. So, good moisturizer, good face wash, a pH balance, which we call it as a Zindet bar. Zindet bar is a pH neutral soap which doesn't remove the water layer. So, Zindet bar is something which is good for regular skin care. A sunscreen, people say Bangalore weather is very good. It is, I don't deny that. But the sunburn cases are maximum in Bangalore compared to Delhi or Bombay or Calcutta, or for that matter even Chennai, where the sun is really hot. For the simple reason that dryness in Bangalore is really high. So the damaging rays, the sun, the skin burning rays easily reach. So good sunscreen, nighttime, post 30 years of age, always 35 years of age, start using an anti-aging or a firming cream which is rich in hyaluronic acid. For other things like for hair care, which is also a part of the skin, use a good pH balanced shampoo, medicated shampoos. Then healthy diet always shows on your skin. Good water intake always shows on your skin. It can't be missed. Then smoking, alcohol, stress. Unfortunately, we can't do much about the pollution and traffic, but with these methods, the effect of the pollution on your skin will be least. So, face wash, moisturizer, sunscreen, and a good firming or an anti-aging cream if you are above 35 years of age. That should be your daily skincare regimen.
So to sum up, we got to know about scars, the different treatment options available, and the benefits for the same. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for having me.
Stay tuned to Columbia Conversations.